Alright, so it's time to unbox the WorkSharp Ken Onion Edition. As you can see, they say you can sharpen every knife you own, tools, scissors, serrated, etc., etc. So, I'm pretty excited about this. It's got adjustable sharpening guide, tool grinding attachment, which I don't think I have. I do have a blade grinding attachment that they did send me, and some extra belts. So yeah, pretty excited. Packaging is nice, well designed. And that's upside down. There we go. Ashland, Oregon. So here's the manual. Here's a little quick start guide. That's more my speed. I'll set that over here for the moment. Here's the belts with, looks like probably a strapping belt, and some abrasive belts as well. There's fine. I'm not sure what that is. Not a rough or a coarse. But like I say, I'm guessing this is a strapping belt because it feels so soft. Okay, and here's the actual device itself. So it appears to basically just be a handheld tool that they've created into or made into a bench mount. So it's got some abrasive on it presently. I don't know which one this is. SF27, I don't know what that means, but it's got the edge guide, and oh, you can adjust it here. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Oh, and then here's your degree adjustment over here. So it seems pretty straightforward. I don't know what that does, but we'll find out. I'll play with it some and I'll come right back and talk a little bit more about it. Oh, but first, this is the blade grinding attachment. I'll set that aside for a moment. This only works with the Ken Onion Sharpener, they say. Safety information. Some cardboard. Here we go. A bunch more belts. Looks like an adjustment screw. Set that aside. Probably going to need that in a minute. And now these belts are larger than the standard belts, as you can see here. So I'm curious. There may not be any interchangeability. You might need to change the whole head out. I'll play with that and find out. Some more cardboard. This out of the way. So here is the blade grinding attachment. Interesting. Looks like it gives you a lot more adjustability, a lot more options, and you got a flat platen on here. So you could, I mean, you could realistically make a knife on this thing if you really wanted to. Assuming you were motivated enough and patient enough, you could very easily do it. So that's pretty neat. I will report back here in a moment after I've gotten a little more hands-on with it and figured out what all these bits and bobs do. Give me just a minute, I'll be right back. That's the belt I'll just use to start off here. And I'm going to follow their instructions directly because well, they're the manufacturers, they're the experts, right? So when I'm grinding in the knife shop with a full-size grinder, I won't turn the grinder on and off, but their recommendation is actually to do that with this particular device, which is a little bit interesting, as it tells you to set the blade in the guide, power on the grinder, pull, stop the grinder, and then remove the knife. So you'll see me do that, and that's why I'm doing that, because that is in fact their recommendation. So let me get this plugged in. And we'll see how this works. not bad. All right, so we'll start. This says 4 to 8 passes at medium speed at a 20-degree angle, which is what we have set here. So off we go. So, oops, I'm doing it wrong already. So set it down. Okay, it's definitely removed some material. You can see that on my fingers there, perhaps. Now, I'm not sure I'm using it correctly, so I may have to play with it some. It is a little warm. It feels a little bit sharper, but I think it's going to need some fine tuning, so bear with me. I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but beginning to develop new bevel and a new edge, I think. So you'll notice, you can see here there's something of a new bevel forming. So I think this knife is probably going to take quite a bit of grinding just to get it to where we want it, because it is such a cheap, crappy knife. I'm going to set this one aside for the moment. I'm going to grab this other knife. This one's a little bit less dull, and I'm thinking it might be easier to have a good effect on it. So let's see where we land here. Making a very conscious effort to use the guides, it seems to be helping. So I'm actually pulling this way and pushing that way a little bit, just enough to get it going in the proper direction. That seems to help. Well, it's definitely got its own manual of arms. You can see it's starting to create a bit of a new bevel on this one. These knives are so darn dull. It's going to take me a while, so give me a little bit. It's definitely working. It's not quite there, but making some good strides. Initial impressions, I'm pretty impressed. These knives have been really neglected for quite a while, so just the fact that they're taking a while doesn't shock me. I should probably have just put the extra coarse belt on to begin with, knowing how bad they are, but I didn't, and that's my fault. So I'll make some adjustments. I'll come back and report back and let you know what I find. So after doing the whole process, that's what I've got here. Pretty decently sharp. I'm impressed. So I'm going to play with it some more, give it another try. Until next time, stay safe, you guys. Oh, one more thing. I'm just going to set up the blade grinding attachment. So as you can see, it's just keyed to go right on there. This little guy is pretty clever. This is the tensioner. So if you push it in, turn it, it locks in, so you can put the belt on like so. Loosen it up. And now you've got tension on your belt. Then you got tracking adjustment here. Pretty clever overall. I'm just going to run it briefly so you can see how it works. I think I'm going to like this one a little better, to be honest with you. Ooh. there we go. So the tracking adjustment is very sensitive, something you want to be aware of. Otherwise, it's pretty slick. And you can just adjust your angle quite easily. And then there's a locking screw on the back. So once you have your 20 degrees or whatever you're looking for, that's this angle here. Get that locked in. Off you go. I like it because it's got this work surface here as well as this work surface. It's also got a flat platen over here, which is kind of nice for doing tool maintenance and stuff. This one isn't really intended for tool maintenance. They actually have a design that, or an addition that is meant for tool maintenance specifically, but this does give you a few more options. So, and again, you can lock your trigger on. So you can let it run without having to have a hand on there. And then you can do all your sharpening and such like that as well.